Hello there people of the internet, I am Deadeye Gaming, also known as Deadeye, and welcome to a video on my channel. This week's video is a countdown on 10 of the most deadliest / lethal weapons ever invented. In this list I am not including any vehicles such as planes or tanks. Enjoy. Number 10 is one of the oldest weapons on this list. This is the crossbow, which was invented around the 4th century BCE by the Chinese. The crossbow is a mechanical version of the bow. This bow shoots projectiles called bolts. Crossbows were used in warfare in Southeast Asia, Europe, and the Mediterranean. This wonderful feat of mechanical engineering was one of the most advanced weapons for its time and would be able to pierce medieval armor. Number 9 on this list is something that changed firearms forever. The Gatling gun. This was the earliest rapid-fire guns ever invented. The Gatling gun was invented by Dr. Richard Gatling. His hopes behind the invention was to put a stop to war. I mean, like, if I was one of these soldiers that was running out one of these Gatling guns and I saw a bunch of flying projectiles flying at me really fast in rapid succession, I would think about running the other way, not at it. And I know what you're all thinking. So Dad, you're telling me that a doctor invented this machine gun? Like, yeah, he did. The main reason he invented it was he was hoping that you only need less men to use this Gatling gun, because the Gatling gun replaces men. So his hope was to lower casualties. Number 8 on this list is a light machine gun. The Bren gun was a light machine gun used by Britain from the 1930s right up to 1992. The Bren gun had two settings, single shot and automatic. The Bren gun was so deadly accurate with its shots, it should have been classified from a light machine gun to a sniper rifle. Number 7 is one of the most lethal snipers ever invented and one of my personal favourites. This is the Barrett M82, also known as the 50 cal sniper. Technically the 50 cal was designed to be an anti-material rifle, which is another word for anti-tank, but it was so effective at making its armored targets inoperable that it was used for anti-personnel as well. This is one of the weapons you do not want to be on the receiving end of, as a headshot from one of these will blow your head clean off. Ouch. Number 6 on this list is something that doesn't fire projectiles at all. The katana is one of the most well-known weapons in the world. It is also the most common melee weapons used in zombie games. The katana is also known as the samurai sword, which were used by samurai when they were around. The swords are normally so sharp that if a piece of paper falls onto it, it cuts it clean in half. The katana was invented in Japan by a Japanese blacksmith, and the katana is a blend between Japanese and Chinese culture. Number 5 is one of the biggest guns on this list. Well, it is the biggest gun on this list. The M2 machine gun, also known as the Browning 50 cal machine gun, is a heavy machine gun which was invented by John Browning towards the end of the First World War and has been used since World War II up until present. It is still being used today because of its effectiveness. The M2 can and has been operated on tanks, aircraft, and by infantry. This weapon is very effective against infantry, unarmored, or lightly armored vehicles and boats. Number 4 is a very explosive invention. The RPG, or rocket propelled grenade, is one of the most damaging weapons on this list. The RPG is a shoulder fired anti-tank weapon that fires a rocket that has an explosive warhead in the tip. RPGs are very effective against light armored, but don't even scratch main battle with tanks. This is the weapon of choice for many soldiers, but it does not come into the standard version which you see on the screen. It's a militarized version. Number 3 is the Benelli M4 Super 90, or better known as the M1014. This is an Italian semi-automatic shotgun. This weapon has a magazine of 6 which can be unloaded very quickly. This shotgun is used by the SWAT and the Army, and is a common weapon in games like Counter-Strike and Call of Duty. Number 2 was bound to be on this list. The AK-47 has a well-deserved place on this list. The AK-47 is an assault rifle that are used all across the world. The AK is a very powerful weapon with only one downside, which is its mass amount of recoil. AKs are generally shot in bursts to counter this recoil. There are also a large number of different variations of this weapon, which proves its power even further. Number 1, you guessed it, the atomic bomb. The atom bomb is a nuclear weapon that gets its force from nuclear reactions. The first test of the fission atomic bomb released the same amount of energy as approximately 20 tons of TNT. The test for the hydrogen, however, produced 10 million tons worth of energy, which, when you think about it, is a huge explosion, considering that's 10 million tons of TNT. Nukes are considered as the weapon of mass destruction, as a nuke the size of a suitcase would wipe out a city off the face of the earth. So next time you leave the airport, make sure you grab the right suitcase. I hope you guys enjoyed this countdown. If you have any suggestions for a future countdown, please leave a comment below. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.